Today, you're in for a treat. We have Matt Slotnick, who is the co-founder and CEO of Podio Labs. Welcome, Matt.
Hey, great to be here.
Podio is a pioneer or the leader in account intelligence, helping revenue leaders and their teams build winning points of view to close bigger deals faster. Help us understand why point of view is important and crucial to generating revenues.
It's how you differentiate. It's how you rise above the noise. And if you sort of think about selling into the enterprise, selling into these leaders who have a lot of priorities, there's a lot going on. Anything below that line is going to get delegated. It's going to get ignored. You're going to allow that to be on fire because it's just not something that's going to move the needle for you. And so when we talk about a point of view, it's how do you come to the table as a partner to a leader with a well thought out point of view for how you and your company and your offerings can solve these folks' really, really big challenges and rise above that noise, rise above the line to really win a seat at that executive table. So for us, it's really how do you build that super detailed point of view that's backed by real-time information, that's up to date with the comings and goings in the world, and things move fast these days. And so if you don't really come prepared with that sort of deep POV, you just don't get that call back. You rarely get the meeting to begin with.
Matt, can you share a success story that illustrates all that you just said?
Actually, this is a recent case study we published with a company called Dialpad. We've been working very deeply with their enterprise team. One of the things with them that they've seen with Podio is that they were able to actually close 70% more revenue with 20% less pipeline. This is really around qualification. It's around deciding where you're going to spend your time. It's about coming up with a really good point of view for how you, in this case, as Dialpad, can help a customer, and really just showing up for those situations where you actually can help.
Tell us about your secret sauce. Obviously, it's AI. Give us a little bit of a flavor on how that works and why it is so revolutionary.
We do a bunch of research to understand who you are as a seller, what your company does, what your value props are. What we can then do is process millions of different data points from thousands of different sources in real time, so that anytime you go and talk to Walmart or Target or whoever it is, you've got this extremely up-to-date picture that's tailored specifically for the sorts of discussions that you need to be having to rise above the noise and bring that expert POV.
What are the limits of AI? What are the misconceptions where people don't really understand on how to use it to their strategic advantage?
The thing that people often get wrong is they want it to be a bit of an all or nothing, right? It's going to solve all my problems or it's useless. And I think when you start to look at these very complicated domains like enterprise sales, and you think about all of the things that go into a sale process, people want this really clean answer of, hey, we've got enterprise sales and AI is going to help us and we're going to create this box around enterprise sales and use AI and it's just going to solve this problem. And I think the reality is these things are so much more fine-grained. People have this desire to automate 100% of something where maybe you could actually get a lot of leverage with 80% or 90% and allow that person to be the final 10%. I think that's going to take a while to play out and it's going to take some trial and error. And it's not this kind of big bang of, oh, we've got AI now and sales it's just overnight a completely different ballgame.
Help me understand the language that salespeople are going to use when they have that point of view in front of them. And how do you help them translate that into the different realities of the stakeholders?
The answer is actually a piece of why you need to use something like Podio, preferably use Podio, is the language you should use is actually the customer's language. But it's a really hard thing to figure out. If you start to think about the different ways that you could sell sort of data or automation into a company, there's a million entry points. The trick is figuring out which of those 3 or which of those 5 or 10 or however many are the things that when you get into that room with the C-suite and one of those gets funded, that you're attached to the thing that gets funded. And the only way to do that is to really understand what's driving these organizations. What is the way that they describe the problem? What is the internal language they use? And then find a way to sort of inject yourself into that conversation as a partner. It's essentially impossible to do at scale, but exactly the sort of thing that folks that do this job best and a lot of Podio customers are doing very scalably and very intelligently.
What are you excited about with the future developments of AI that are just around the corner?
Every company is going to have to reinvent itself many times over the next 5 or 10 years based on the capabilities of these products. And so we really think about what is the best way to give leverage to our customers. And the way that you give leverage is going to change. And that's scary, but it's also exciting. I think it sort of changes the nature of how you build companies or how you should expect to build companies, the winners are going to have to reinvent themselves, arguably even more, because the technology is going to change. And it's really about how do you take the capabilities of all of these new state-of-the-art models and new workflows that you can start to automate or provide leverage for, and wrap those into a product that your customer can ultimately consume.
You are going to teach a masterclass, 80 minutes, and we're going to publish a link below so you can sign up. Tell us what you'll be teaching in the masterclass.
All about POVs. It's how you can build points of view, how you can do that with Podio, but sort of just philosophically, why does it matter? How do you get your reps to follow these? What are best practices in sort of putting them to work? And ultimately, again, this is about rising above the noise. And this is something that unfortunately is even more topical today, but I think it's the new normal, and folks are either going to adapt to it or not. And for us, it's really, how do you become a partner to your prospects and customers in these times of change? Or how do you kind of stay outside the house looking in and hope to get a meeting to solve their seventh or eighth most important problem when they get around to it?
Well, click on the link below and sign up. I'm very excited, Matt, that you're doing this masterclass. I can't wait to see the impact that you are having on the world of sales. Thank you.
Thanks, Gerhard.